We're 1 minute today, and we are going to be doing our usual shenanigans. I literally just got back. On the bright side, I actually got food this time around, as opposed to every other stream where I've literally just starved on camera for like an hour or two. But we are back to our usual shenanigans. It is day 25 of Madathon, which is a pretty big milestone for me, because that's like a fourth of the way to 100, which doesn't sound super exciting, but is kind of exciting to me. Hi, Charlotte. How you doing? Welcome in. How are things? And Victor. Welcome to the somewhat mukbang stream. It's mostly just because right before this stream I got food. So I went to L&L, which is a lovely, lovely plate lunch place in Hawaii. On my first. Are you first? That's kind of exciting. Love that for you. Hey, Azrath Sim, what's good? How's your day going? And Weggy's in as well. It is the same usual shenaniganery today, except I have food this time. It implies you're planning on getting to day 100. I mean, I'd like to think so, but I mean, if we don't, then that's just anyone. That's not really. If it happens, it happens. I'm going to hope for it, but if people don't get us there, then that is what it is. The red and black goes with your maid outfit. Yeah. So I was wearing like a slightly nicer outfit than I usually do, which is to say, not the kind of wrinkled white shirt that I've been wearing for like a bit. Because I had to go have like a meeting about like some finances and stuff, because content creation money is weird. But we are back, and as for food, I got Kahlua pork and cabbage, which is my favorite little snack, or at least was my favorite in school, because like occasionally they would do this for lunch. But I went to L&L, which unfortunately was not super available when you're in high school. But during college, we had an L&L on campus, which was kind of crazy. But that was after I came back from this other college that I went to, so it is what it is. Well, welcome in, everybody. People eating as much as a starving American. Yeah, I ended up getting plate lunch. The only reason today is like a mukbang stream per se is just because I, went out and got food, as opposed to all the other times that I do these streams where I'm not eating at all. But I hope everybody's Thursday is at least going well. I never know how good Thursdays are in terms of like viewership-wise, but yesterday was doing really, really well. His favorite D&D campaign? Hard to say. Hi, Patty. Yeah, just finished swimming. Nice. Day 26 of Madathon. Is it 26? I thought it was 25. It's 25, I'm pretty sure, but honestly, who's to say? But, I had missed, like, Kahlua pork and cat. It's hard to get, like, Kahlua pork anywhere that isn't the islands. Like, mind you that they have it, but it's, like, a specific kind of, like, meh, you know? What do you mean your rice failed? Yesterday was 25? Are you sure? I thought it was 24. I might just be in the wrong. Okay, well, I trust my mods more than I trust myself on keeping track of the days. Well, happy day 26. It's a good thing I didn't put that number in the title. Instead, I just decided to name this Mukbanging Your Mom because I thought it'd be really funny, and it was. Keep it up, brother. Thanks, Yosef. Appreciate it. Anyway, as per usual, our goal for this evening is to reach $50 in donations, in which case we keep the party rolling. Technically, today marks the official, like, getting into bonus streams territory. Mostly because I have, like, three, like, planned streams during the week, and then I just kind of go for it. It was day 25. Oh. Well, then I have nothing really to celebrate other than, like, I went outside today, and, I got a plate lunch. It's good stuff. Highly recommend, if you guys do go to Hawaii, stop at L&L. This is not a sponsored thing. It's just literally the place that I would get plate lunches the most for pretty much every day in college. I would get it for breakfast. Mostly because breakfast was a lot easier to deal with after the fact as opposed to, planning it beforehand. But, pretty quick on the uptake. We tried ice cream chicken. What the hell is ice cream chicken? That sounds awful. As for Aang or Korra, I say Korra. Your players believe if you said they'll not die if they jump off a cloud? I wouldn't know. I don't have any players. Track of them. 26 yesterday was 25, and Moon thought Tuesday was 25, but 24 since you were sick Monday and didn't stream. Okay, so we are on day 26 then. Happy day 26. Hi, Cecilia. Buffalo chicken dip. I wouldn't be against it per se, but I don't know how you'd get it to me. Good stuff. Very good stuff. I was this close to getting like a burger or like one of those barbecue plates. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of barbecue chicken. At least not like traditionally. I missed not much. We've just been kind of hanging out. It's been like 5 minutes. More Planet Maintenance because we're past the day goal. I mean, the day goal is kind of loose. I play fast and loose with it. It's just whoever. Oh, new goal day is 69. Yes, our new goal day is 69, and if you want to help us get there, we have the super chat function, which is always a fun time. If we don't, then we don't do any more mage streams until my designated stream days. Hey, Kingslayer! I'm only to give cash now. Let the stars guide your path and the heavens you deserve. Must return to the void. Bye. All right, bye, Kingslayer. Thanks so much for the 5. Appreciate it. I'll be real. I had like literally 2 minutes to spare when we got in here, but I had to get set up and then I had to go to the bathroom. So that's why we're a little bit late than we usually are. Hi, Kimberly. Anyway, you guys do anything exciting today? It's really weird for me to do streams in the middle of the day because like not much has happened. Because like I wake up and then I go do a thing and then I like fuck off for like a day or two. But like, I don't know. I in terms of like exciting stuff, there's not really much for me to do while I'm out and about. No, that's unfortunate. Hey, Discord, I updated and now I can't quote and won't show me the YouTube mod channel or the 18 plus channel. I'm gonna lose my shit. Have you tried checking your, like, roles? That might be part of it. I don't know. That thing breaks, like, every day. I'm surprised that the, like, Discord server is still standing, considering, like, I have no idea how any of that shit works. Didn't notice you were late. I mean, to be fair, I'm not late by, like, more than I would normally be. I was late by, like, a singular minute, and that's just because your boy, likes to start at, like, 5 minutes before. It just works out better that way. What do I do for a living? This. Good stuff. It's calm, nice day. Well, that's good, Dito. I'm glad that, like, nothing crazy happened or anything. For the most part, your boy doesn't really have very, like, complicated days. Kind of planning out what I'm doing for the rest of the week. I was going to plan on making gumbo for my family, so that's always a fun time. Especially because I haven't made gumbo in literally years. I don't even know if I remember how. I used a recipe the last time I did it, but, like, from my understanding, it all starts from the roux. As long as I don't fuck up the roux, then it should be fine. Either way, we are $45 away from our goal. What do you do if you do something and then the DM smiles and laughs? Try your best. Where did you get the funny beanie? Spencer's. How much you make doing this? This specifically, it varies. What's gumbo? Gumbo is kind of like a soup stew, sort of. It's like a spicy soup. Hey! Like, nah, not particularly. Still have all my roles, and then YouTube mod channel isn't showing up in the roles and channels part of the server. Okay, I have no idea what's wrong with that. You're gonna have to ask somebody who actually understands how any of that shit works. But, such is the way of things. Thank you, Toasty. I'm Cajun. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad. At least somebody's proud of me for that. Honestly, depending on when I make it, I could very much do like a gumbo stream. You know what? If we manage to make gold tonight, when I do make the gumbo, I'll stream it even if I don't have a stream, like, planned that day. Here's how I've arrived. Hi, Jason. I remember visiting America and doing Wild and Spencer's. That's just still around. Yeah, it's still around. I mean, Spencer's came before Hot Topic, and Hot Topic is still around. Though, to be fair, there are a lot of things that have come before other things that are really similar that have disappeared. Like Blockbuster, for instance. I'm sad that Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore. I think, like, in concept, it's really fun. You as best funny man? Thank you, Bungus. Appreciate it. God, I missed the food here. I really did. Makeshift phone holder. What do you mean makeshift phone holder? What are you eating? Kahlua pork and cabbage. I can kind of show it. It's a plate lunch, which is not like, I don't think it's specific to Hawaii. I think plate lunches exist all over the place. It's more prevalent in Hawaii just because everybody likes a good plate lunch. Having a good day? Doing pretty good, Donald. How are you? Also, hi, Tank. Saying bad words. Suck a dick. Fucking jump into oncoming traffic. I can do whatever I want. It's my stream. Using my dishwasher. Very nice. Love that for you. Have a good day, funny man. You have a good day too as well. But that is kind of my, so my head still hurts and the egg size bump is half the size. I mean, I'm glad that it's at least going down, but like, I don't know. That does not, I would ice it if you haven't. That's really all I've got. By the way, have you seen Dawn Brothers? I have not seen Dawn Brothers. I've seen like bits and pieces. I love it in concept, but I've literally no fucking idea what that show is about. It just seems like a bunch of random things happening for one reason or another. All I know is Don Momotaro is probably one of my favorite, like, I guess conceptual characters, because I haven't really, like, watched the show, but he seems fun. I just like the laugh. I've always loved that type of anime laugh. I think it's like a, actually, I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's like, I want to call it like a kabuki laugh, which is, oh, ho, ho, ho. That, I don't know. Something so fun about it. I mean, would donate if I wasn't broke? I appreciate it. Again, it's not required to donate. We just have our goals set so that, if people do come along who want to donate, then they can. Sub by sub, nice, no, appreciate it. If y'all haven't subbed, you should. It's made outfit, so husband material. I appreciate it. I think I'd make decent husband material. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to. What else do you do? That's about it, really. I don't know. With like the way that society has oriented itself, I could pretty much do whatever I want. It's just the idea of having a partner in general is just kind of where that stands. Gumbo seems like a particularly delectable meal, and because of the fact, very much prefer if I were to occur that what? I don't know. Protect the family? Is that a husband thing? I don't know. I'm not really in the realm of like protection. I'm not very like threatening. Maybe I sit in prone. This is just the first face injury. Oof. I think Don Brothers' laugh is just the All Might laugh. Well, the thing is, All Might didn't like originate that laugh. That laugh comes from like somewhere. I just don't know where. But like all I know is All Might was not the first to do it. It's like a very specific archetype. It's like the very like, not rambunctious. It's like grandstanding. Actually, rambunctious might be the best word for that. I don't know off the top of my head, but like the idea of like somebody who's so much larger than life, who is like constantly, projecting, if that makes sense. Like one of those very loud characters. But I don't know, it's anyone's guess. I just like it in concept because like something about a character who's so out there has always been very appealing to me. Confident laugh? I guess. For the fam, die for the fam, because in the clear we all fam. Hey, Karma's in! Welcome in, my dear, dear mod. How are you doing this fine day of days? Think the cattier dude in those short videos should be named Catrip? Why Catrip? Oh, because like cantrip? I don't know. Kimchi rice is so good. I have tried it. My mom makes kimchi fried rice all the time. Or at least did when I was, living here. I don't know how often my mom makes it now, but... Entire anime is free to view on YouTube. Is it really? That's insane. Did you guys know that Kamen Rider Geats is also free to view on YouTube? Entire series. One of my favorite Kamen Rider shows. You should watch it. I think it's on Tokusatsu. Having a good snacky. Yeah, I'm finally putting some of that YouTube money to work. I got myself a Kahlua Pig plate. Very good for love letter to Sentai in the most ass-backwards way. Also, I'm glad you like Momo's laugh. He is one of the best Sentai members in terms of writing. Well, that's good. My favorite character of all time, though, is probably Captain Marvelous. But, like, nothing wrong with the solid, little Don Momotaro in there. Who wants to join my, what did he call it? My, they're like vassals? Jesse, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate it. Now, with a solid $38 donation, we can make it to yet another stream day, which will probably be the Gumbo stream. So, Kamen Rider fan personally, more of a fan of Ultraman, though. Interesting. Okay, that's actually really interesting, because I don't know anything about Ultraman. But, like, it's always seemed like such an interesting concept. Like, you have the big guy fighting monsters, which is kind of, it's basically like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai combined, is like my interpretation of that. My dad watched a lot of Ultraman growing up. My dad was, like, classic Hawaii upbringing, or classic Japanese-American growing up in Hawaii upbringing, which was watching a lot of Tokusatsu shows. Remember Hamasamakun is growing? It is. Hi, Jesse. Thank you so much for the $2. Appreciate it. Like if mom and dad had a kid, might just be me. I don't know. Nah, I don't really see it. I was a test tube baby. No, can you imagine, though? This is how you find out I was secretly a test tube baby. They specifically wanted the most deeply confusing man to exist. What you eating? Kahlua pork and cabbage. Super simple dish, but probably one of my favorites. Like, of all the thing. I make computer viruses. Weird. I don't know how to read that, Cecilia. I wish that I could. This is pretty good. I love Buffa. Buffa was one of my favorites. Mostly because I had the hair and his... Dude, Buffa's drip in, like, the latter half of the season, insane. Man was rocking like a fucking... Like a skirt pant thing. It was great. Kayla started off real strong, but I feel like he got lost in the plot. Fun fact. I actually love what they did with Keiwa's character, right? Keiwa represents basically how Kamen Rider is interpreted through a modern day lens in a weird way. At least that's how I've it's kind of representative of like fan culture. Because you have you have Keiwa's like sponsor, Kekara, and like Kekara has like a very specific way that he views Kamen Riders, which is I want to create the most like edgy, tortured hero that I can, which is reflective of how a lot of people view superhero media, where a hero has to suffer, a hero has to be like edgy and violent, which is why Keiwa's like final form is Bujin's sword, which is this like edgy looking samurai with the sword, the fucking black armor. And basically, as it goes on, we learn through Keiwa that superheroes don't have to be tortured and don't have to have a like a tragic backstory or a tragic like storyline in order to be compelling. At least that's my opinion on Keiwa. I think Keiwa is one of the more like interesting characters in the show, but that also might just be me. I'd love to hear other people's opinions for people who have seen Kamen Rider Geats. I think I did watch it in the server. I don't know who was actually around for that though. Fun fact: the schooner was built before the American Revolution and carried fruit timber coal. I don't know what that is, but okay. You're playing instruments. No. Greeting from Roman Empire. Greeting from not Roman Empire. Greeting from the home of Crystalvania. From what I could tell, he was a different interpretation of Ryuki, and they acknowledged that with him meeting Ryuki. Like your interpretation too, though, it makes me like him more. Yeah, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Keiwa's not my favorite character in the series, but I really love what they did with him. Because Keiwa is like the everyman in a weird sense. His wish is like very Kamen Rider coded, which is to say that he loves everybody. He wants everyone to be happy, and that's why his like wish is just for everyone to be like chilling, everyone to be saved, blah 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 blah. And that being twisted by the audience itself is reflective of how Kamen Rider has gotten more and more violent and like more and more edgy. And mind you, like there's nothing wrong with like some edge to Kamen Rider. I think it's very much geared towards like teens as opposed to like young kids, despite the toys being very kid coded. But like it shows that you could do so much more with a character beside making them like suffer all the time, you know? Oh, bye, Jesse. Thank you so much for your donations, but bye. What you eating? Kahlua pork and cabbage. So seeing you in the maid outfit makes me laugh. Well, I'm glad. But yeah, that's my interpretation. My favorite character in the show, though, is Neon. Neon, my favorite character, not because of her storyline, but just because I love a good, like, cat motif. And also, Beat as a fucking power was so dope. And also, I don't know, the idea of, like, finding, like, I'm always a sucker for, like, content creator-oriented stories in superhero media. It's always just a fun time. Back with Pizza, welcome back. What do you think of motorsports? I don't know anything about motorsports. Anyone wanted me to name my character Emo Edgelord? Well, did you make an Emo Edgelord? Says, well, there's tons of mods, guys. One of us will get you, probably 2 or 3 of us. True. It's your workout and eating routine. Eat whatever I want, sleep like 13 hours a day. I'm not like a health conscious person. Either way, we are $34 away from goal. Right, we swarm assholes like sequel swarm food. Speed demon mode, drop, bro. Azarath on it today. Yeah, his face and I'm a woman. How the fuck does it look so kawaii? I mean, oh, I did try a new face wash. So my skin is a little bit smoother today, so I used a moisturizing face wash while I showered today. And also, there was a peeling gel, right? So I bought a peeling gel from Don Quixote, and it gets rid of all the dead skin, so I guess my skin just looks nicer. I don't know if anybody can really notice it, especially with the quality of my camera, but it is what it is. You know, is this One Punch Man really a spoof or parody? Because I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so it's a spoof of, like, overpowered characters, essentially. Or more of a diatribe of overpowered characters, where, like, normally in superhero media, you see them working up to being the best. Here, he's already starting there, and it's just figuring out what to do with him afterwards. Because, technically speaking, if you want a traditional hero story, that would be Genos. Genos' story is basically the, like, quote-unquote main storyline of One Punch Man. This looks extra glowy today. To be fair, I'm also at a different angle, so you have the sun coming in. But I think I got that youthful glow. Make Shin Godzilla as a D&D character. I don't know anything about Shin Godzilla. I know about the general idea of Godzilla. All I know is that American Godzilla is kind of crap. I don't like American Godzilla films. They're really boring. They're just watching a big CGI monster fight another big CGI monster. Like, what? Like, I don't care. I don't know. It turns Godzilla into a spectacle as opposed to like a diatribe of nuclear war or like humans' ability to survive horrible like events. It's just like it's such a boring concept to be like what's the thesis of American Godzilla films? It's really cool watching a lizard beat up a gorilla. And like you didn't say anything. It's bad I've never seen any Godzilla films. Honestly, I've only ever like in terms of Godzilla films, I've seen Godzilla -1 and that one with Walter White in it. That movie was so goddamn boring. I don't like that movie is oddly enough the closest to America getting Godzilla right. However, it didn't show Godzilla enough and it was boring as all hell. But like Godzilla should always focus on the human characters, but it should never be them, like, it should never be about them triumphing. It should be how they manage to get out of this before Godzilla just fucking leaves. Like, the idea is you should never truly defeat Godzilla, because Godzilla is a force of nature, essentially, even though he is just a giant lizard. He says, Genesis super cool, I loved his arc. Your take on American Godzilla is painfully true. It's, like, American Godzilla is so fucking boring. It's just watching a giant lizard walk around while humans be equally as boring. You cannot tell me that the characters in American Godzilla films are actually interesting. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of them. If you guys are interested in starting watching Ultraman, I recommend a poll I made on Quotev once where we recommend an Ultraman show movie. I mean, I am interested in it. I've never really bothered. Is Godzilla real or fake? And what are you eating, by the way? What do you mean, is Godzilla real or fake? Godzilla's a movie. My Hero Academia bad. I don't like it. I don't like My Hero Academia. I think it's mostly because of the fan base. It just also kind of seems like a very mid show. Big thing hit big thing is fun when you turn your brain off. Yeah, but I feel like that contributes to people's lack of media literacy. It encourages people not to read any further into the media they consume. And I feel like you can have a spectacle of it. Like, you can have Godzilla fight a giant monster. That's why a lot of the classic Godzilla movies are that. They're fighting Mothra or King Ghidorah or whatever. But, like, the core of what makes Godzilla great is what Godzilla represents and not what Godzilla hits. Like, it shouldn't be about how hard Godzilla can hit a thing, you know? So -1 was amazing. I loved Godzilla -1. One of my favorites. To be fair, it's one of the only few that I've seen. Cooking why the maid Sama. So I'm wearing the maid outfit because it's day 26 of Maidathon. Basically, if we reach $50 in donations, I continue to stream day after day. At least until I go to Korea, and then I'll resume it when I get back. The spikes on the biggest thing we know of was terrifying. Right? The idea of a Tarrasque having back spikes implies that it is prey to something. But, fun fact, something I learned. Did you know that Tarrasques are French? The giant monster is not like an exclusive D&D thing. Tarrasques come from French folklore, and they're not nearly as scary as you think they are. Zora named him... I don't even know how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to bother. Tasty. When fairies were mythical creatures instead of people genuinely believing they're... What are you talking about? Do you like apples? Yeah, I think they're okay. Maybe humans are the top since we killed them. I don't know. Maybe, but like, they're always fighting them from the bottom, though. So I don't... Unless you're just crashing a thing into it. It just became several times scarier. Do you really fear the French that much? Think about it, Christianity is low-key scary. I mean, I guess. It's more scary what they use. They use it to justify scary things. The religion itself isn't really all that terrifying. Except for biblical angels, but I feel like that's kind of a meme. But weird about teenage... What? Gross. It's fascinating. Also, what the heck is Predator to the Tarrasque? I don't know. People gave me, like, answers during that video. It was, like, bigger Tarrasques, dragons, gods, but I don't know. I feel like they're not really attacking it from the top. How big do you think a Tarrasque is at birth? I'm genuinely kind of curious. I've never really seen. Do you like Naruto? I think it's alright. Could have spikes so that they don't get eaten from... Yeah, that's what people said, is like, it's because dragons can attack them from above. Because Tarrasques don't have ranged attacks, at least not, you know, beyond throwing things. 12-foot tall egg. Makes sense. I don't know, I feel like with how big it is, the eggs would be, like, proportionately sized, because, like, you have to birth a thing when you're an adult, presumably. Gay Harriman, nothing could change my mind. I mean, that was basically what the apostles were. It's like his, you know, his little, like, YMCA. I don't know. Tarrasques are predated by other Tarrasques, and surely the scariest one would have no spikes. So I guess like an alpha Tarask would have no back spikes. I sent my message, you already moved on to another conversation. I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. Your mom? I'm not banging your mom, stupid. Terrestrials are not natural creatures, but instead made by gods. In lore, in D&D lore, yes. Well, maybe. It depends. Some people say that they're made by gods, others say that they're made by, like, wizards to just fuck up gods. In like, French folklore, they're not gods. They are, well, kind of. Supposedly, they are descended from a creature called the Leviathan. It's a biblical creature called the Leviathan. And then also a creature called the Ochako or something like that. Ochaka. Basically, it's this like river-dwelling creature that throws poop at like its enemies, but I don't. It's weird. It's a weird concept. I'm making a video about it. Hey, kill Taras, my mom. Unfortunate. I mean, could Taras not still evolve post-creation? I don't know. It is like so. The thing is, like D&D is weird because I don't know how long the world actually existed for. It's not like in real life where we have millions of years of creation. It's anyone's guess how long D&D world lasts for. Major summon? I do. This is Chibi from Twitch. Oh! What's up, Chibi? What's up? And the D&D are not similar last I checked. Yeah, but it uses the same name, so that's just the comparison that I'm making. Chain Simulacrum and Wish. You get infinite wishes, I think. What is the Predator of the Trash? Because it has spikes. I don't know. In between each comment response takes 2 bites. Look, I'm trying to eat as well as stream. It's a difficult process. Opinion on the U.S. government? I think it's garbage. I think the U.S. government is running this country into a hole, and I think we're about to all suffer for it. But I do believe that once all the old people die, we'll eventually age into hopefully a set of people in the government that don't suck ass. Say that you're mukbanging my mom spell you right? Okay. It was a joke more than anything else. I don't care. Shut the hell up. You ever do YouTube collabs with people like, I don't know who any of those people are. Oh, wait, I do know who King Chris is. Probably not, because that has nothing to do with what I do. Find short form content more viable from your experience? I mean, it's all I've ever done, so it's kind of up to... It's, like, kind of viable, but it's one of those things where, like, you have to work at it. It's, like, it's a constant grind, if that makes sense. Some dual citizenship just in case. That's the plan. Live long enough to replace the government. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to live out of spite. I'm going to survive in whatever nuclear apocalypse we're about to approach. Or I guess it's more of an economic one. Maybe nuclear. You never know. Favorite anime? Dr. Stone. I'd show you the tattoo, but I'm wearing a long sleeve today. I do like Percy Jackson. Spirit Taras, Older Taras, Gods, Feral Gods, for some Eldritch Horror. Or the players. Oh, thank you. How much good a woodchuck chuck of a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know, like 4 chucks? Qualify for Polish citizen, I just have to do the paperwork. I would say do it sooner rather than later, just in case. It's looking good. Thanks for the free space. How long are you going for the madathon? It's really just as long as people decide to donate to the stream. So, up to you. We are $34 away. This is late to how far are we from goal? About $34, roughly. Specifically non-natural predators of the Tarrasque. Would that count as non-natural? Because I feel like, humans are a weird case in D&D, as I've learned, because no god takes responsibility for humans. Supposedly, they just popped in one day. They have no traceable origins. Here you go, and thanks for letting me text at you. No worries, Donald. I appreciate our talk about Kamen Rider and Godzilla. I don't know. I love when, like, people who share my interest pop in on these. Because, like, yeah, I love D&D, but I love talking about other stuff, too. Favorite anime power system? I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of anime power systems. Soul leveling and free range should be... not really. I think it's, like, average. They're, like, average animes. Found the anime lovers. Are there anime lovers? The NPCs are the gnomes, so player characters are naturally powerful. I don't know about naturally. I think it's, like, I don't know. It's very... The idea of, like, a D&D thing is very, like, RPG centric. Like, supposedly you are just better than most other groups, but there are other like D&D parties supposedly like around the world. So on Kamen Rider Black Sun, Kamen Rider Amazons. I haven't seen Black Sun. I've seen part of Amazons. It's an interesting concept, but I don't think Kamen Rider needs to be edgy to be entertaining. To be fair though, Kamen Rider Amazon, the first one that they're based off of, was like kind of deeply ridiculous. But like, I don't know. I think Geats, Build, and maybe Gav. I think those are the best like interpretations of Kamen Rider because it has very serious moments, but on the whole are very ridiculous. Man, I've never seen Power Rangers. You should, Moon. It's worth the watch, if only for the media, like, not media literacy. It's like media consumption. Hey! Now we gotta go for our next Marathon stream. Thank you, Karma. Isn't Kamen Rider already kind of edgy? I would say it's comparatively edgy. If you want to, like, it's tackling more mature themes than what people would be used to when it comes to, like, superhero, like, media. Japanese superhero media is leagues above American superhero media because American superhero media centers around, like, themes of... So this is like a tweet that I threw out there, but it's... Zack Snyder is everything wrong with superhero media, which is to say, it all centers around this idea that having absolute power means that you have to be a dickhead. It's that absolute power corrupts absolutely theme, and it's like, in concept, it's not a terrible thing to explore, but every single fucking superhero is doing that, even the ones that don't have powers. Like, I don't know. Absolute power corrupting absolutely is such a boring, like, genre convention of superhero media that I'm just fucking tired of seeing. Every single evil Superman story says nothing worthwhile about Superman. It just says, like, man, wouldn't that be fucked up if Superman was evil? Like, yeah. It would also be really fucked up to give, like, a chimpanzee nuclear launch codes, but that doesn't say anything about the media itself. It doesn't say anything in terms of theming. It's just an unfortunate event that occurs, you know? But, like, Japanese superhero media comes at it from the perspective of, like, the Japanese culture, which is having absolute power should be, like, power should be used to, like, fight for love and peace, not for your own self-interest. It's not about vengeance. It's about, like, preserving, not really even the status quo. It's about fighting for a better world. And that's why I love Kamen Rider as opposed to anything fucking American. There's a Tokusatsu show that specifically deconstructs the cliches around Tokusatsu, but I can't remember what it's called. I think it was Akiba Ranger? I don't know. I know that was a parody. A request for a discussion topic. I recommend Super Chat a question about the topic. True. I'm just gonna yap about whatever the fuck I feel like yapping about. Trying to editor or not really? What do you mean trying to be an editor? I just kind of edit my own content, but that's about it. What's good? What Godzilla is your favorite Godzilla? I don't know. I admittedly don't know a lot about Godzilla. I just like a handful of things. Like, I like things about Godzilla. I don't specifically ascribe to watching Godzilla that often. Opinion on Evasion as a DM? It's alright. It's inability. Shin, -1, or Zika. I like -1 because it's the only one I've seen all the way through. Then with another one of your original character shows, I thought of another one if you're interested in a premise I have. I mean, you can just tell me what character it is, or just comment on the video. At least then it helps with engagement. Do you like Epic the Musical? I do. Zilla. Zilla's the American one, isn't it? The one that got, like, fucking destroyed by Japanese Godzilla because it was such a bad movie that they decided to, like, buy the rights so that they could then kill it on screen. Which is my favorite fucking, like, petty move by Toei. I got Godzilla into a D&D campaign. To be fair, Godzilla in a D&D campaign is just fighting a Tarask. A Tarask basically represents similar theming, but it is also just a giant monster. But also, this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a hot second, is what using a giant monster in your D&D game should mean. It should never be like, hey, it's just a big monster, go kill it. It should be more than that. Like, it should represent something, some facet of your world. Otherwise, it's, you know, just like a boring thing that's happening. Style one is Godzilla, which, yeah, I didn't very much like, but I did like the dinosaur-like design. I mean, I just like dinosaurs in general. Love me a good dinosaur, but it doesn't mean that it would make, like, a good fucking, like, thing. We watch Power Rangers in the Discord sometime, that way we all get caught up. There's a lot of Power Rangers, so I don't know what we would start with. I've already seen Dino Thunder, and I don't really want to watch it again. So maybe Ninja Storm? I like Ninja Storm. It had, like, some pretty good humor in it. And it's the only ninja-based season that I actually support doesn't have to, like, the only one that I don't think has to have Japanese people in it. Especially because, you know, this Green Samurai Ranger was at least Japanese within the thing. You know, in High School Host Club in Discord. That true. That too. Also true. Disney confirmed season 31 of Power Rangers for Disney Plus. So are they continuing it, or are they just making a new thing? It is the nicest way possible. You both look and remind me of Jay Walker from Ninjago. I don't know anything about Ninjago, but cool, I guess. Ninja Storm is Jason's favorite. Interesting. You can be a dragon turtle. Love a good dragon turtle. Finding out that birds are dinosaurs. It's kind of a misunderstanding of it, but yeah, kinda. It's best I can tell. I mean, I would be interested in a new Power Rangers, but I also think that, I don't know, as much as I love Power Rangers, I just don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth rebooting Power Rangers again. Like, Super Sentai is good because it's this continued saga in a weird way. They're loosely connected, but, like, it all falls under the same umbrella, where Power Rangers is just kind of, like, doing whatever the hell they want, you know? I stream, like, I don't know who that is. You know, like, video games, so which is your favorite? My favorite game of all time is not Injustice, sorry, Infamous 2. That was my favorite game. Why triangle? What do you mean, why triangle? For to eat? Ah, yeah, that's true. Said as a dono thing. Every $10 made, I take another significant bite of food so that I can... It's kind of like having a Tamagotchi. What am I eating? Cooler pork and cabbage. Hi, Zone, and how you doing? You can see what he did, who did. I don't really watch streamers. The only streamer I watch is Arclight, and that's just because he's my friend. I watched the first episode of Red Ranger Anime. It's ridiculous. I believe it. Hamagotchi. Real talk, I had a merch idea of me in the little Tamagotchi thing, and it was just going to be Hamagotchi. I don't think if I could get away with that, but I would try because I think it's funny. But, there you go. Anyway, I guess as we progress, our new goal is 100. We've already reached 50 for the extra maid outfit stream, but I'll just say our goal for the rest of stream, since we have about like 30 minutes to an hour left, is hopefully getting another 50 in so that we can reach that goal. The game is like Stardew Valley. No, but I kind of want to. You punch one person in the face, who would it be? The president. But also this one fucking dickhead on Threads. Dude, I made a post about how Zack Snyder forever changed the perception of Superman in the worst possible way. And people are arguing, and they're like, meh, 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 meh. I'm like, I don't care about your fucking opinion, dude. I don't. I do not care about your opinion of Superman. This is, like, just for me to throw out my random, like, thoughts so that they don't propagate my brain for too long. They're like, but Snyder's version is... It's like, your interpretation of Superman isn't right. I didn't even give my interpretation of Superman, man. Like, I just said that, like, Snyder's version sucks ass. And it does. It's not a good Superman film. Or Superman interpretation. Man of Steel was okay, though. I kind of like that. But it's also kind of, like, another gross mishandling of Superman. Flag on Windows Supremacy. Yee. Back again. Welcome back, Mindy. How you doing? With a full belly that might not feel... What are you talking... Wait, what? What's happening with D2? What did D2 do? Do made fit... Yeah, probably not with this. Somebody ban McReal. I do not have the energy to fight fucking dipshits in my comments right now. Honestly, just make them disappear at this point. This is not an open forum, nor do I give a fuck about these, like, weird cultists. See, my person is Alfred Pennyworth. I mean, I do love a good Alfred. You know? I don't know. Alfred in concept is just so much more interesting than Batman, and that's just because I don't like Batman that much. I think Batman is kind of just, like, boring. Christopher Reeve is the best live-action Superman. Yeah, yeah, I mean, sure, I guess. Yeah, I'll give it to you. Yeah, he is. But I do stand by the fact that Batman the Brave and the Bold is the best interpretation of Batman. I don't... This is controversial. Aside from animated stuff, which, mind you, the best version is obviously the fucking Batman animated series. But, like, this is controversial, but Val Kilmer in Batman Forever is actually the best on-screen Batman I think we've gotten. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not a good movie, but it's actually a very solid Batman. Like, I don't know, like, Batman Who Laughs is stupid. Owlman is a better version of Batman Who Laughs. Batman the Brave and the Bold I had on DVD. I used to watch it all the time. It already does have a deep history, like the fact that he was once a secret agent for British intelligence. Yeah, didn't they make they made like an Alfred Pennyworth show that nobody watched. It was on HBO Max, and I didn't see it either, but I just remember it existing. My skin looks really good today. Hold on. I gotta keep using that, like, it's good. I love that for me. It'd give you another goblin name like Goblin Boss Energy. Lord Tallest. I don't know. I like Batman only because he's plot armor personified. It depends on how he's written. If he's written well, then, like, I think he's fine. Yeah, I don't watch some animes. They don't buy my clothes. Alright, buy some random. Batman Forever is the one with Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Yes. That's also not a good Riddler. I feel like Riddler is grossly mishandled as well. But I stand by the fact that Val Kilmer is the best on-screen Batman. He wasn't given the best movie, but he is the best Batman. And I feel like people need to understand that just because a movie is bad does not mean that, like, their interpretation of the character is. Like, everybody likes to shit on the Joel Schumacher movies, because, like, Batman and Robin is not good. And, like, George Clooney as Batman is not really all that, like, interesting. But, like, there are some really solid elements. Like, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. Love that. That was fun. Send me the skincare routine because your girl gotta pamper herself and look glowy too. I mean, sure, give me a second. I could literally just take y'all into my bathroom. Because, like, I'm not gonna keep looking pretty. Everybody in the Ham Fam deserves to look and feel like a pretty princess. It's predicted what people would say so we could record a response ahead of time. The fuck are you talking about? Anyway, in terms of face wash, I use the CeraVe. This might be expired because I bought this like a year ago. And this, I got these from Don Quixote, but these are the ones. The white one is a peeling gel, and the blue one is a face wash. Basically, what you want to do is wash your face with the blue, do the peeling gel so you can get all the dead skin, and then wash it a second time with this, and then you'll get very lovely, beautiful, not at all crappy looking skin, so that, you know, you can be nice and pretty like your boy. Love George Clooney in Spy Kids. He played the president, which is kind of the wildest thing that I've ever seen in a movie. How does lotion... That wasn't lotion, that was face wash. Maybe I think it was shampoo. Shampoo expires, as I've learned. Something good that won't make me break out. I've got, like, permanent winter skin. I mean, I don't know how to help you there, but that's just what I use. It also might just be literally genetics. As for what am I eating, I'm eating Kahlua pork and cabbage. It is a staple of Hawaiian living. This is great. Spy Kids was great. I love Spy Kids. Trying to be rude as a joke. Came across as rude. I didn't even see what you wrote, but I don't know. I think the best Superman adaptation? On screen or animated? I think expires mostly just because less effective and can even cause bad reactions if that old. Well, it's a good thing I stopped using that and I got like a different thing. Yeah, apparently shampoo expires. Except how it expires, yeah. I mean, it's just chemicals in a bottle, so assuming it'll either lose potency or be directly harmful. Sorry for misunderstanding. Thoughts on the anime Black Clover? I've never seen it. Anyway, that's my thing. On screen Superman. Christopher Reeves. I haven't seen any of those, but in concept, I think that's probably the best because it's very cheery and positive. I think people got so caught up in this fucking Zack Snyder edge fest that, like, people are like, I want to see an edgy, gritty Superman. I want him to start killing people left and right. And I'm like, bro, that's not Superman. You're talking about Homelander. Like, what you want is not Superman. What you want is a weird power fantasy to make yourself feel better, you fucking incel. But, like, Superman should never... There should never be, like, a moral gray when it comes to Superman. Superman's power is not being... Well, technically it is his power, but, like, Superman's greatest, like, power is his, like, heart. It's the idea that somebody with that much power would choose to be a good person simply because it's the right thing to do. Meanwhile, you have other people being like, if I had superpowers, I'd be Homelander. I'm like, yeah, because you're a bad person, you fucking loser. Injustice Superman is not a good Superman. Injustice Superman grossly mishandles Superman as a character, mostly because they needed a reason for the game to happen, which, don't get me wrong, I fucking love the Injustice fighting games, but that's just because it's Mortal Kombat with DC characters. And, like, Hulk was supposed to be gray. I mean, true. But, I don't know, like, Injustice Superman, I think I don't know if this is controversial to say, but, like, what do you think is the most overused trope in anime or movies? I'm gonna go with superhero media for now, but, like, not so Superman. Yeah. I would say it's, like, being evil or like having everybody hate you because you have powers. I don't. X-Men is the only place where that kind of makes sense. But anyway, so Injustice would have made more sense if Batman was the evil one instead of Superman. You could still have the same elements. Have Batman develop a drug that lets him fight on the same par with Superman. Have it so that Batman uses his vast resources for evil because he's tired of watching good people die because he refuses to do anything. I don't know. I have read the Injustice comics. They're not good, but like they're drawn well and like I enjoy it in concept, but it's not like a good story. It's a more moral Batman is a sociopath. Also, Batman in any fair fight would probably lose. But like, I don't know. Batman turns against the Justice League over what? Doesn't kill people except for one specific comic series. Yeah, but Superman doesn't really kill anyone either, and he does it in Injustice, so, like, if we're gonna bastardize a character, we might as well just make it Batman, because, like, at least he's kind of fucking weird. I don't know. I stand by the fact that, like, Batman, in Injustice, the only thing for that, like, Wonder Woman, even Wonder Woman is kind of bastardized in that. The entire basis of Injustice is just characters not being themselves, if that makes sense. Like, this is obviously a separate universe, but it's just Make a better villain was not shitty sadist way like Joker. Bruh, Batman Who Laughs is the probably stupidest character I've ever seen. Decent in Injustice's Flash, yeah. His name is Red Hood. I like Jason Todd more than I like Batman. Not because he kills, but because I just think Jason Todd is a much better character to follow than Batman, because he has a lot of things to be pissed off about. But, like, Under the Red Hood is one of my favorite Batman stories. Good evening. Good evening. For beats the absolute hell out of Soups with pure fisticuffs. That was wish fulfillment, but I give it a pass because I like watching Alfred kick shit. But I don't know. I don't think Injustice is very well written. Like, in concept, it centers solely around people not behaving the way that they would. And also this, like, deeply ridiculous set of events. Punisher, best anti-hero duo. Punisher and Red Hood are a keen example of they are good characters when they're written well. If they're written shitty, they are stupid, and people will misinterpret their characters to fit their dumb fucking, like, motivations. Tons run out of steam constantly, and once he gets what he wants, he has no idea what to do with himself. I mean, I think that in itself is kind of an interesting storyline. Maybe Injustice Wonder Woman, that is for certain. Also, why are you wearing that? Looks very blousy. So it's part of Madathon. If we make goal, then I continue to do streams with this on. Tell you that I send your videos to my boyfriend as a DM just to freak him the fuck out. You're welcome. That way we took a pill that gave him the ability to fight Soups. Yu-Gi-Oh cards? They are. This is my tournament deck that I used to use back in the day. It's probably not, like, valid anymore, but I still think it's a fun deck. As for Wonder Woman, I think people misunderstand what Wonder Woman is. Like, Wonder Woman is, like, love personified, if that makes sense. Of all the characters in the DC universe, Wonder Woman is the one who is the first to make a friend. Superman is, like, a good person, don't get me wrong, but Wonder Woman is the person to extend that hand, like, regardless if they're fighting or not. If it doesn't work, then, you know, she slaughters them, but that's a different issue. Best friend is mad at me. She isn't responding. I think she won't be there tomorrow. What do you mean, won't be where? Also, Wonder Woman is scary to writers. That's because a lot of people don't know how to write, like, Wonder Woman. You've seen Invincible or had the desire to? I've seen the first season of Invincible. I think of all the, like, superhero, like, of all the Superman is evil adjacent stories, that's probably the best. The Boys show is leagues better than The Boys comic. The Boys comic is probably the dumbest fucking thing I've ever read. It's basically like if Frank Miller was even worse of a writer than he already is. And even then, Frank Miller is a shit writer. Just dropped my phone on my toe. I'm crying on the floor now. Ouch. The DC remaking their new cinematic universe. I like the direction that they're going with. I think the new Superman movie is going to be the best one in decades. Do you agree with the creator that Omni-Man is stronger than Superman? No. No, absolutely fucking not. But also, I think those questions of like, which fictional character would win in a fight is kind of like weird. It's just whoever's writing the comic. Whoever the writer wants to win will win. Because like, this is not like real people. I've not read much Thor. It's not really something that's interested me. I think it's just because Thor in general is just like it's a very weird concept. That's what Stan Lee said. Yeah, he was right. It doesn't matter who would literally win. It's just whoever the writer wants to win will win. Otherwise, like, the story doesn't exist, and then like you kind of just speculate. I don't know. It is what it is. Sometimes superhero media, I don't know, I think superhero media, movies specifically, I think need to get their heads out of their asses. I'm really tired of shows and stuff that aren't fun. But like, not like fun and lighthearted are two different things, if that makes sense. Because like, She-Hulk is lighthearted, but it's not fun, you know? I don't think it's necessarily the worst thing that Marvel's ever put out, but like I don't know. I like the character She-Hulk. I just wish she had like a better storyline, you know? I think people should make a few movies based on opposing sides of people. What are you talking about? That's like every movie. There's a protagonist and an antagonist. That's just what stories are. First time seeing your stream? Well, welcome in. You should absolutely read the Wayne Family on Webtoons. I think it's alright. I think people from other superhero universes, Marvel, DC, MK, or Invincible, could beat... Everybody from most of those universes could beat Homelander. And it's because Homelander's not as strong as people think he is. He's just the strongest in his universe. And that's because he's just quote-unquote Superman, basically. But Homelander in that universe loses regularly to people who have the same powers as him. So yeah, Superman would fucking destroy him. Omni-Man, Invincible, Superman, fucking Batman would probably beat the crap out of him like before anybody else would. Never make new Hulk movie actually about Hulk, they better do it justice. I think they should return the Hulk to his horror roots if they're gonna make a new Hulk thing. I think people are like, Hulk is like this big green monster, blah blah blah. Like that's okay, great. Now what? Like you have a big monster. This is just Godzilla again, but he's green. Homelander gets dogged by Chiaotzu, absolutely. Damon, just Jekyll and what kind of? So your Insta and honestly, you look way better with short hair. I think so. I like my short hair. It's just hard to maintain, mostly because I don't know where to get a perm that I trust. Either way, what was I talking about? Everybody dogging on Homelander. Hulk. Yeah, Immortal Hulk. That, yes. It should return to its horror roots. I think the psychological horror and very, like, I say Jekyll and Hyde, but that's not what Jekyll and Hyde is. But, like, the sort of, you know, almost werewolf-esque transformation, it should be like a body horror adjacent psychological horror movie. Like, we should delve deep into what the Hulk is, because the Hulk is a coping mechanism from Bruce's, like, years of abuse as a child, you know? So much more, the Hulk is all of Bruce's abuse and insecurity warped into the beast man he is. Exactly. And I really love how Immortal Hulk tackles that, and it's probably one of the best written, like, Hulk stories. Don't get me wrong, I do like World War Hulk. I do. I really like World War Hulk and Planet Hulk. I don't know, I like it more when, like, the Hulk is not just this, like, rampaging fucking, like, thing. Original Hulk is the devil. What? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, he's like connected to the green, I think, or something like that. Gamma radiation being hell radiation was in... That was a little stupid, but, like, you kind of get what I'm getting at, right? The Hulk can be so much more than just guy who hit thing really hard, you know? The one below all. Ugh. Such a very strange concept, but, like, I'm not against it. I've seen stupider things in comic books, like... You know what I want to see? I want to see Gritty Condiment King. I want to see the next Batman movie star Condiment King. I believe that if what's his face, if James Gunn is in charge, I'm fairly certain we'll see Condiment King, and that's what I'm hoping for. Beat the shit out of the devil. Nice. Comic Hulk in the past decade has been more horror, I feel, than ever before, so I hope they carry it into film. The thing is, they're not gonna do anything with Hulk because like their movies, what they've done with Hulk in the past, like they've already fucked that character up. Cause like the Hulk is not really like the Hulk is Smart Hulk now. Like it's just Bruce Banner, but he's green, and like I could care less about that storyline, you know. What do you think of the reason Civil War happened in the MCU? It's a better reason than the reason it happened in the comics. Actually, no. No, yeah, I would argue that Civil War the movie is better than Civil War the comic. Civil War the comic is just a lot of, like, it's a bigger scale, but everybody is just, like, not really written well. It's just a lot of people fighting. And also, that led to One More Day, which was the worst Spider-Man comic of all time. Somebody ban Jay. He's being a fucking little dumbass. I think Marvel's falling and DC would be rising. No. I think if we're talking long term, I think Marvel has established itself to the point that people are more willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. But like, DC is in a position where we can finally move past Snyder's bullshit, fucking boring as hell universe with the dumbest fucking choices imaginable. I did like seeing Darkseid. Don't get me wrong. Things in the Justice League movie are good. In concept, I enjoyed seeing them. Visually speaking, really good movie. Maybe a little gray, but like I would like to see it less gray. But like there are ideas there that would work in a movie way down the line, not like right off the bat. I don't like the idea of turning Superman evil because that's fucking stupid. The idea of Superman being evil is so fucking played out, and like it all comes from Snyder's inability to write like decent characters or giving them anything worthwhile other than I'm really mad, let's fight each other. I think Bethesda's alright. Ceased or Marvel Zombies or Darkest Night as the best comic for zombies. So I don't know anything about Deceased. I've read Marvel Zombies, or at least part of it, and I thought Darkest Night was okay. I think of the three, I'd probably say Darkest Night is my favorite. Mostly just because the Darkest Night is, like, lends a lot of credence to Green Lantern, which I love the mythos for that. Could Omni-Man beat Injustice Superman? No. Because that's Superman who's not afraid to kill. I don't know. It's kind of like maybe I don't know. It's whoever's writing the comic, man. If I were to write it, I just like Superman, so I would have Superman win. But like, if we're talking mathematically speaking, then that's for Death Battle, not for me. Good into, although I didn't read the entire series. From what I understand, Deceased is where like the anti-life equation causes a zombie apocalypse or something like that. It's like a technovirus. Just as Superman decapitated crime syndicate soups. Hey! Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I get really passionate about comic books, Karma. I love me a good comic book talk. And I love when it's not, you know, done by fucking buffoons on the internet. Like, at least now we're having, like, a kind of civil conversation. I'm mostly talking at you guys, but, like, again, this is not a forum for debate. I'm gonna voice my opinion. If I don't like your opinion, I don't have to fucking talk to you. Something about Superman and Harley Quinn is he's very innocent to a fault. I haven't actually seen the Harley Quinn show. I don't know how I feel about it. I think Superman should not be stupid. I think Superman should be trusting, but I don't think Superman should be stupid. Because everybody's like, big blue Boy Scout epithet. I'm like, yeah, that's great. You do realize Boy Scouts are not, you know, dumb. Like, they have, like, intelligence. Superman's one of the smartest people in the world. And that's because he has powers that let him do that. And fun hearing your opinions. I'm glad. I enjoy talking about things that I'm passionate about. Anyway, my food because, you know, Karma paid me. Anyway. I think Death Battle did Superman v Omni-Man? No, they did, Omni-Man versus Homelander, and Omni-Man won because Homelander's a little bitch. Much like most conservatives who think they're think they're fucking hot shit, if you just have a person, like, if you're the strongest in your group, that does not mean that you're the strongest everywhere, if that makes sense. Because you have, like, a sort of, I don't know if this is confirmation bias. I'm not really sure what the term is, but it's the idea that, like, your surroundings create a sort of echo chamber for your abilities, which builds you up. Oh, here's what it is. It's like when you're the prettiest in your small hometown and then you go to a big city and find out you're like a 6, you know? Which like you're not weak. It's just there is so much more in the world beyond you, you know? In your opinion, has the best main suit? Best suit? I like Spider-Man. I don't know. Bardock versus Omni-Man. What are you talking about? Is your channel about D&D? If I am a 1 in my hometown, I'm so sorry for your loss. Civic is not a fan of mukbang, but I hope you have a good time. I mean, it's not really a mukbang. I'm just eating occasionally. I'm not doing like ASMR or anything. Like, I just called it that because I thought it'd be funny to name this stream Mukbanging Your Mom. Should the Batman be part of the new DCU or should it be separate? It shouldn't be part of the DCU. I don't think the Batman Matt Reeves the Batman is in the same boat as I'm gonna say Christian Bale. I don't remember the fucking name of that guy. Christian Bale's Batman. They're really good standalone, but they don't work in a team setting, right? Because here you have Batman who had to like inject himself to fight like 3 goons, and like I'm supposed to believe that that guy who had trouble with the Riddler is like able to stand on the same like footing as Superman who's fighting a kaiju. Which, mind you, that's kind of the idea. Like, Superman and Batman are the world's finest. They are 2 extremely powerful superheroes, but for different reasons. Batman should kill Joker. Narratively speaking, no. If it was any other set in real, I think so. Here's my issue with that, right? Batman should everybody should kill the Joker, right? The Joker does not deserve to live because he's just that evil. But like, narratively speaking, it's never gonna happen because then like you lose out on the Joker. You never see him again if he's dead forever. And that's also not what Batman is. Batman killed Joker in his first comic. Yeah, but that was like before Batman was getting like Batman became what he is now. Classic Batman was literally just Sherlock Holmes in a bat costume, just dangling people from his fucking Batwing. I mean, Batman is insane like his villains, he can't kill them. Pretty much. As I've heard it explained. Hey, Coffee! It's been a while. What's up? As I've heard it explained, Batman cannot kill not because it's this like amorphous killing is wrong absolutely idea. There are people who absolutely deserve to die, especially in Gotham. But it's the idea that Batman can't trust himself to be judge, jury, and executioner. He's not the fucking like he's not the Punisher, right? The Punisher is a deeply unsettling, unstable individual who should not be given the amount of power that he has. He's just doing it because, like, it's to get over his dead family. Batman does it because, in a sense of justice, not vengeance. Even though a lot of things are like, let's punch people because vengeance. But, like, it's because it'll go overboard. It's because if you can justify killing one person, you could justify killing anyone. You know? I don't know if that makes sense, but, like, that's the mentality that Batman has. It's not because killing is wrong. It's that him killing opens the floodgates for him to justify taking the life of anybody he comes across. He would slaughter the Penguin if he really thought about it. Like, Joker is a very extreme case, but it's like the gateway drug to killing everybody, you know? This thing from the Injustice movie was Plastic Man. I just love Plastic Man in general. Eel O'Brien, funny character. Does make sense. Okay, good. I've heard that exact sentence somewhere. Jason is also insane and kills every villain by means killed by Joker, so I give him a pass. I don't know. It's more about controlling crime than it is about, like, just straight up murdering criminals. I think the main ethos of... Not saying there isn't a reason. Like, murder is not a thing that people should, like... It should not be your first option. But, like, there are instances when killing is fine. Some people truly do deserve it, but, like... That's not for any one person to decide, you know? That's the idea that's the idea behind Batman, is that no one person can be trusted. It's also the same idea behind Death Note. One person should not be allowed to decide who lives and dies. That is not a power any given person should have. 29 versus Batman Beyond. That was already a thing. More ethics, kind of. We're talking about Batman. I should have been on the Nets of the Hawks. I say the Hawks because I don't know who the fuck that is, but I like the idea. Step up my boy 2099. Honestly, I honestly think Batman Beyond would win. Failures in Gotham's justice system. Even if Batman can't kill the Joker, he should have gotten the death penalty a long time ago. Yeah, obviously the idea of killing the Joker does not exist in a vacuum. But, like, I don't know. Gotham in general is just a deeply terrible fucking, like, city to live in. But it's very cheap, I imagine. Managed to bring the entire party from almost out of debt in one action in the worst front lines in D&D game. It was astonishing. What do you mean out of debt? Beyond is such OP tech. To be fair, it's the future, so that's kind of what it is. Gotham's supposed to be based on New York. It's actually in Jersey, oddly enough. The city of Gotham exists in Jersey. And I think Metropolis is New York? Something like that. I don't know. It's, like, supposedly close enough. Joker keeps pleading insanity, but, like, come on, Gotham. After the 10th arrest, you should just pull... Yeah, literally. After the 10th time he pleads insanity, like... I don't know. Justice is such a... it's just such an interesting concept to tackle in comic books, especially when they're not normal people. Because you're talking about giving fair justice to a man who has the ability to create chemicals that make you see your worst fear, or a clown who somehow owns a million billion guns and just, like, all sorts of fucked up shit. Like, he has a car, he has, like, sharks. It's a weird concept. But, like, I stand by the fact that, I don't know, people deserve due process, but some people, I think, after the third or fourth chance, you should just, you know? I thought Gotham was NYC and Metropolis was Chicago, Flash was in LA. I always thought Flash was in Chicago. Flash is Coast City, right? Empire City? No, Empire City is something else. Coast City. Central City, that's what it was. How would you do as a Robin? Me? Not very well. Joker apparently has super sanity, fourth wall. Yeah, so he's basically the Mask, but it is what it is. Like, Nugget's back? Oh, I Nugget. Flash is central. Yeah. I don't know. I like the Flash. I think it's really hard to write for the Flash just because of how overpowered he is. I'm gonna laugh. Look at Adam West Batman. I like Adam West Batman. I think people are too caught up in making Batman edgy and realistic. Like, they're trying to modernize Batman. They're trying to, like, MCUify Batman. But, like, Batman is an innately ridiculous concept. You have a billionaire who uses his grand funds to dress up in a furry suit and beat the shit out of criminals. And he's fighting a clown, a guy who looks like a penguin, literally Clay, just the hottest women I've ever seen in my life, and, like, a guy who really likes riddles. I don't know. Shark repellent. Shark repellent spray is the best fucking thing of all time. But, like, I don't know. I think people should lend credence to the sort of campiness of Batman. I think if we want a good Batman movie that, like, appeals to everyone, treat it less like a fucking well, not a detective movie. You could treat it like a detective movie. But, like, treat it less like the most fucking, like... I should not be watching fucking, like, little 13-year-old Jimmy's puberty hour. Like, I don't care about, like, the edginess of Batman. Like, Gotham itself should be about as edgy as it gets. But, like, Batman himself should have some kind of levity. Robin is essentially what lends credence to that, which is why I would love to see a Robin done in, like, a movie. Work on King Shark is just, like, smelling salts to him? I have no idea, honestly. Jim Carrey was the best Riddler. I don't think there's been a good Riddler depicted. I like Jim Carrey's, but, like, Riddler falls into two categories. A, he's regular criminal who loves doing puzzles, or regular criminal who occasionally spouts off... Actually, you know, he's either the fucking Zodiac killer, or he's guy who does crimes and steals things while like, reading off from the fucking 101 riddles to make your child feel like a dumbass book, you know? Teen Titans Robin was decent. I like Teen Titans Robin was great. I would have liked to see him interact with Batman once, but, like, that's probably not likely. Batman animated series is best Batman. Yes, absolutely it is. The animated stuff for DC is peak DC characters. All the movies are kind of ass in comparison. It's canceled too soon. It was. Rather see a comedic, flamboyant, gay Batman, the Batman who saw Zorro the Gay Blade. Ha! I'd like to see that. Batman as an anime would be fire. They think they have those. Gotham 1919? No, I haven't. What was I talking about? Oh, Batman again. Kind of. No, but like I'd like to see Batman be less edgy. I'm tired of seeing like he's wearing like made by military grade and like go back to spandex. He can have armor below it, but I'd like to see less lines on the fucking suit, please. I just didn't cancel the animated Batman Beyond movie. Ah, I would have loved to see that. Young Justice was peak. Character deserves his own movie or series. Why Killer Croc? Cynical. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Just as the Riddler for Riddler. That's what I was talking about. Right. So Riddler is a prime example of Riddler should always win if you're playing fair. Riddler essentially represents a bastardization of Batman's intelligence. The idea that the Riddler's entire theming is his like insecurity, right? His need to prove that he's the best and that people need to know how smart he is, which is why he leaves the riddles. Such a cornball name, bro. I love it. It should be campy, but it should also have that underlying sinister like aspects to it. The Riddler should always be the equivalent of those guys who need to prove themselves to be the smartest guy in the room, despite the fact that nobody gives a fuck. Right? The only reason Riddler is ever stopped is because he keeps needing to tell. He has a compulsive need to know that, to tell people that he's the one doing it. Would you prefer as Robin in Young Justice Dick Grayson or Tim Drake? I like Dick Grayson. I think it's just because I'm a fan. In the comics, I would say I like Tim Drake more. Need Young Justice back. Maybe people who do that do what? Waylon Jones' story is tragic, but now that I think about it, yeah, maybe he doesn't need an entire series. I mean, I'd watch it. Don't get me wrong. Killer Croc is a deeply tragic character when he's not just written as guy who is scary, guy who is crocodile. But like, I don't know. Roll me this bats, what's black and red and dead all over you. That's what I'm talking about. That's just the, like, that's, it's deeply ridiculous, but I like when the Riddler has an like, the Riddler should have a more interesting scheme than, like, there should be so many moving parts that it literally takes, like, the world's greatest detective to solve it. Robin Williams was originally casted for Riddler in Batman Forever. I would watch that. I don't think it'd be good casting, but I would watch it. The idea to rehabilitate Riddler, you just give him an escape room to run. Good. Tell people who played jokes and pranks to remind us how short we are. That's what I hate. I mean, it's kind of Riddler. It's literally just proving that they are the smartest. The channel runs D&D campaigns. Play with viewers. Good for him. Sure. The best possible thing to come home to after a date. Honestly, this and a glass of blueberry wine is just 100. Well, I'm glad you enjoy this. I don't really get to often talk about comic books, so I actually really enjoy this stream. Viewership is a little weird, but I think it's just because towards the end of the week, it's always kind of finicky. So, while I feel like he was going to come back after Sanctuary Arc, that was meant to be season 6. I never actually watched the latter seasons, so no spoilers. I'm just sad that he like died. Actually, make Riddler run a prison. I think Riddler. I don't really know if you can rehabilitate Riddler. Well, maybe. I think if you just tell Riddler, if you gave Riddler a crime and said, I don't think you can solve this, he would solve it just to prove that he's smarter than you. And, like, you just have to be like, prove it. And then he, like, shows you the fucking solution. And boom, now you've solved a crime. Congratulations. I don't know. Riddler of Batman's Gallery, I think, is probably the easiest to, like, deal with. Probably Riddler, not Joker, though. Never Joker. Joker could not be rehabilitated. Batman admits Riddler is smart. Boom, cured. Kinda. He also just does crime, because it's not just proving himself to Batman. It's proving himself to literally everybody. He will not rest until every single person in the world knows that he's smarter than them. So I've only ever read a few comic books, but I love watching the YouTube channels that do comic book voiceovers. I do too. It also kind of depends. Harley Quinn actually help a lot of Gotham villains. You just need her sane enough. I mean, she's insane. That's part of the character. But, like, I think Harley Quinn as an anti-hero I enjoy. But I also think people don't know how to write Harley Quinn very well. I think people write Harley Quinn as, like, she's the sexy clown. I'm like, no. Harley Quinn is smarter than, like, 90% of the fucking people here. Or at least psychologically. As you're weak? It's alright. What villains, if reformed, could make better hero than the hero? Harley Quinn. Red Hood. I just want to see Killer Croc because I think it'd be funny. Clayface. I love Clayface being redeemed in one of the Batman series. Rip Comic Storian. Oh, man, I miss Comic Storian. The guy that they have reading is good. I really liked his... I really love his voiceover, but nothing's going to beat, Benny the Comic Storian. Like lesbian Harley Quinn. I'm here for it. Should go next year now that I'm getting more buff. Go where? So DZ is a man with no motive, therefore he makes an awesome detective villain. Kinda. It depends. I think Joker just kind of does things for the fuck of it. Which I guess is technically no motivation, but like, I don't know. Sometimes he has plans. It's weird. Like, Joker in the comics is either this like unknowable force of nature. He's like always 500 steps ahead, but like it always just seems like ridiculous planning. Or he's like the guy who doesn't have a plan. And like neither interpretation is really all that interesting. I don't think the Joker's a good villain. I got really tired of Joker's shit after like, I don't know, Batman, what was it? It was like Batman Endgame where he was like an ancient force of chaos that like was in Gotham forever and like he was there for eternity. I don't know. It fucking stupid. I don't know. I'm so tired of seeing the Joker. I think literally any other villain in Batman's rogue gallery works better than the Joker, and I'm really tired of them using him in fucking comic books. Or in movies, sorry. You from the D&D shorts? That is me. Joker meet Deadpool, meet the audience. Actually, if a real life actor was a bar and they multi-class into other classes, kid types, would be the class spread for Henry Cavill? Barbarian, I guess. I don't know. To the gay Batman, we should have deadpan a series Robin. What? 2 bites and a sip of water. I don't have any water, but I'll eat a secondary bite if that'll do it for you. You replace Joker with then? Clayface. Penguin, the Riddler. Mr. Freeze? Poison Ivy? I would really like to see a Clayface thing, because you have, like, the world's greatest detective versus the world's greatest shapeshifter, meaning that feasibly anybody could commit the crime. But, like, that detective element would be really cool, because you have, like, sort of body horror shapeshifting thing going on. What if Shazam was Robin instead of Jason Todd? I think that would be deeply funny to watch, because you have this, like, guy who's taller than Batman wearing a Robin suit. Man-Bat should be Batman's main villain. I'd watch it. I think it'd be funny. I'm Poison Ivy growing up because I wasn't allergic. You aren't allergic to... Huh, interesting. I think possibly doing Clayface. I know they've been using Clayface more. Hi, Sid. Was you eating... I'm eating Kula pork and cabbage. It's from L&L. It's in Hawaii. Girl I'm seeing now is a nurse from Oahu, and she loves that I can cook Kula pork and Simon. Bruh, I miss Simon. I got Simon while I was here. Very tasty stuff. This is much better than Batman Who Laughs. Agreed. When did you get the tattoo on your arm? I just wanted to look cool. It's only good to keep Batman in the suit. Joker, I don't know. I'm just really tired of seeing Joker be used. I would love for DC to move past the need of Joker in these stories. He's iconic, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like we could do better than this. I pray that we could do better than this, because writing for Batman is ass. It should be a knockoff of Spider-Man. It shouldn't be a knockoff of anything. They should make a new thing. I think Joker should come late game for Batman. I agree. The next con, I'll bring Simon and Kula pork. Fuck yeah, sounds good. I don't know what con I'm going to. Simon is goated. Yo, I think I slept on my shoulder wrong, because, like, every time I, like, turn to the side, there's, like, a sharp pain in my fucking, like, shoulder blade. Because Batman is why Joker exists. I mean, it depends on your interpretation of, like, his backstory, but yeah. I don't know, I think Red Hood would make a better villain. Ever read Civil War 2? Yeah, but it's really stupid. Sorry that. Yeah, it is what it is. Which is the shoulder that wears the maid outfit. So true. I think it's just because my, like, my posture's bad. It's Batman's fault. Fave Batman villain? Red Hood. Or Clayface. No knockoff, but DC doesn't have an answer to Marvel's Spider-Man. Technically, they did. It's just nobody read that comic. It was Sideways. It was a DC hero who could, like, teleport. He was basically, like, DC's Spider-Man, but it's not very good. I don't know. I don't think DC should make a copy of a character that already exists. I feel like they should just make a character, you know? I love Joker, but he's overused. I feel like the Mad Hatter is a better crazy guy for Batman. I would actually watch that. That would be fun. I would love to see a Mad Hatter film. Or a movie with Mad Hatter in it. Mike Spider is a hype assassin. Hype assassin? It's a hype assassin. Moxie Train. All right, bye, Burnt Nugget. Anyway, y'all, we are $23 away from reaching 100, which would have been our secondary goal. And if we hit that, then, I mean, I can end my stream soon and eat some food. Getting old already? I am, just a little bit. What are your opinions on Scarecrow? I like him in concept, but I feel like against Batman, he's a little mad because Batman literally wears his spear. I don't know. I think Scarecrow... I would like to see a Scarecrow movie done right. I want to see Scarecrow done where it's less harping on Batman's fears and more harping on the fears of a general community. I would love to see Scarecrow deal with like less like in less direct forms of like fears, if you know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly, but basically Scarecrow is interesting hey, for snack's sake. Oh, thank you, Karma. Appreciate it. Now we are $7 away. But Batman, Scarecrow as a concept, the idea of bringing your worst fears to life could be more in line with like Pennywise. Like imagine a slow burn detective film for Batman where like yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, but people all across the city are going fucking nuts, right? They are seeing their worst fears, they're hallucinating, and Batman has to solve who the fuck is doing it. And it turns out it's Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow. And then towards the latter end, the big like climax is Batman having to like relive his worst fears, which depending on whether or not there's a Robin, depending on how far along this movie is, right? It could be losing his parents. It's less like bats flying at him because that's really boring, but like a very trippy movie, right? It should be sort of like a mind, like Arkham games. They did Scarecrow really well. Like it should be this like terrifying set piece. These like abstract fears given like form. And the idea that like Batman has to deal with, oh, actually, maybe the entire movie, it's revealed later on, the entire movie, that Batman had been subjected to the fear toxin way before this entire shit started. He's been essentially investigating, and the thing that's been like going bump in the night is him. And like, so one of his like worst fears is like, say, losing a Robin. So he has to deal with that. Like the entire movie is him just going through some shit, hunting down this mysterious creature nobody can get a read on, and it's just him. I don't know. That's like off the top of my head a pitch. I think it'd be fun. In fact, Superman got a yellow lantern ring before Superman got a yellow lantern ring? He got it in Injustice, didn't he? And that's because Superman should never have a yellow lantern ring. That should tell you everything you need to know about Superman. There is no reason Superman should ever inspire fear in anyone. Yeah, it was an Injustice. I know in Blackest Night, Scarecrow got the fear ring, and like that just makes sense. Spider-Man is Robin because Batman is Iron Man. Not in the comics. In the comics, Spider-Man fucking hates Iron Man. Superman and Captain America, I think, would be great friends. I believe it. I think Superman is more worldly than Captain America, but I think they would hold, like, similar values, maybe. I scare the whole planet fighting the JL all at once. Not really the same. That's also why... Are you talking about Snyder's one, where he scares the planet? Again, Snyder's interpretation of Superman is so fucking garbage. I'm getting more, like, heated about it. So you get a Blue Lantern, yes, because hope. But, like, Snyder's fucking interpretation of Superman is big, scary... It's just Batman with the ability to shoot lasers out of his eyes. It's the idea that everybody should fear Superman because of how powerful he is. He's an alien from another world. And mind you, you can do that element of the story, but there should, on screen, through Superman's actions, you should never be scared of Superman. Except for in one or two instances, but that's a different thing. You, the audience, should always see Superman as someone to aspire to. Someone that, like, Lex should be the element of fear. You should fear Lex just because he's a rich, bald guy. Superman with pink gems, so you could turn... I can't believe that was in, like, 2013. I love Dexter. Red Ring Cat. You ever seen the Darkness comics? I have not. Scarecrow is a good villain, but has a bad reputation. Under mildly different circumstances, Spider-Man is Iron Man's sidekick, but Parker hates everything Iron Man stands for. Kind of. Spider-Man should always be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I feel like him being introduced in the MCU as like Iron Man's protege was kind of lame. I don't really like I liked No Way Home. Like, I like the ideas presented in a vacuum. I just don't like it in reference to the rest of the MCU. Like, I feel like Spider-Man should always be relatable, and technically speaking, the 3 Spider-Man movies we got are kind of Spider-Man's origins, and now we're kind of where we're at. Snyder's overrated, but not awful. His interpretation of Superman and Batsy is awful, though. he's not like, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Snyder. Like, I don't think he's a shitty person. I don't think he should die or anything. I just think that his interpretation of Superman and Batman have grossly misrepresented what those characters are about, and now his Snyder cultists continue to spout off rhetoric about how Superman and Batman should be these, like, horrifying, fucking edgy-ass, like, pieces of shit characters. You know, the final goal today, since it's slow, always trying to put towards you spoiling your mom with nice things. Aw, thank you, Karma. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Also, I have been slowing down a little, but luckily my viewership has been, like, kind of raising up a little bit, knock on wood. But either way, even making, like, $50 is usually as much as I need to do. Are you excited for James Gunn Super? Absolutely I am. There's fucking color in that movie. That's all I want. I want the movie to not look like I'm watching two really dull computer screens, like, fucking in a dark room, you know? I should not, like, I should not be strained to see what is happening in a fucking Superman film. Stark sucking fanboy in AMC. You couldn't even be Spider-Man without Stark team up. Yeah, I liked it better interpreted as, like, the origin for the Spider-Man we got now, because now he's made his own suit. He's striking out on his own. I like that. New Superman is a joke. Homie, you're a joke. The new Superman is leagues better than fucking Snyder's edgy-ass piece of shit. Though, don't get me wrong, I love Henry Cavill in the role. I just think I would like to see him come back as, like... I'd like to see him come back as Kingdom Come Superman. Like, especially with how superhero movies are happening nowadays. It's because you want to see him of it. Not for the stream. I mean for, like, my videos. The Blind Green Lantern? No. Superman Prime. I would love to see... Oh, the way that would be so nice, though. Like, hear me out. Henry Cavill comes back as, like, Golden Age Superman. And, like, it's whether or not you want to do Crisis on Infinite Earths or, like, the idea that, like, oh, this is a Superman who's haggard by time, blah, 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 blah. Or you could have the classic Golden Age Superman from a different universe impart, you know, that message of, like, peace and love and hope to, like, our Superman who's, like, going through it, you know? Man of Steel was a good interpretation. However, I think it's only because of... Cavill is the only reason those movies have anything worthwhile going on in them. Superhero movies for teenagers and their goth, emo, everything is awful and no one would care if I die. Literally, it's just watching somebody's 13-year-old... Like, it's watching 13-year-olds fan fiction about the character. And I would know, because I was 13 and wrote that exact same shit. Where it's like, in this world, Superman has to deal with everybody hating him because he has, like, so much powers. He's the hate superheroes. No, if you want hate superheroes, that would be the people who wrote The Boys. Not the series, the comic. Literally, they've been quoted as saying as much. But, like, I have watched Real Steel. I like that movie. I thought it was fun. Golden Age Superman would be pure perfection. I would love to see Kingdom Come happen. Mostly because Kingdom Come is a story that's more applicable to today's superhero genre. Because everybody and their mothers wants to do a gritty take on superheroes. And, like, that has not changed since Kingdom Come has come out. I have never been so fucking depressed reading comics. And, like, not in the good way. I love a good story where things seem hopeless, but Superman is not the comic for that. But, I don't know. I hope that Cavill gets the chance to do a superhero, like a Superman that isn't shitty. We have Kingdom Come Superman played by Keanu Reeves. Why? The Batman universe needs to be expanded. The Penguin show was so good. I haven't seen it. I liked the movie, don't get me wrong. It played on a lot more detective elements that, like, Batman is sorely lacking, but it's also not a very good Batman film. It's just a good detective film with a guy dressed as a bat. Like, I don't really like Batman. This is, like, my advice for people writing Batman or interpreting Batman. If your Batman is not the kind of person to stop what he's doing and comfort a crying child, then you're not writing Batman. You're writing the Punisher with a funny gimmick. I am the D&D guy, yeah. Let's see a Batman show that expands upon either Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, or Clayface. I would love to see Mr. Freeze show up. Because I love the tragedy of Mr. Freeze. And Batman Who Laughs getting one tap by Superboy Prime after Batman Who Laughs fusing with Dr. Manhattan. I don't like the Batman Who Laughs. Superboy Prime is okay as a villain. He's just kind of like, eh. See him fall and be dark and gritty, but my favorite semi-related was DP Wolverine the Calvary. I like that one. That was fun. Oh, shit. Wait, I already did that. Oh, my God. Get out of there. Oh my God. Ah, God, I fucked up the whole thing. Oh, there we go. I don't know. That's just like, do Doctor Who and D&D. Have everybody play one character, I guess, that they just switch through every time they die. back OG Teen Titans. I would love that. I don't know. I just need more hopeful superhero stories because, like, if your Superman is not the kind of guy to save a cat from a tree, then you have not written Superman either. You've written, like, Sentry. You've written guy who, like, is super, not Superman, if that makes sense. Ranch Man reset the entire... What? The One Punch reset and destroy the infinite number of universes. Such a crazy feat. Yeah. Star Wars Marvel Who Wins? I don't know. Invincible is shockingly fitting. That kind of... Tell your mom, nice man flies your cat out of the tree. What are you talking about? I don't know. What do you think of the live-action Hal Jordan Green Lantern movie that came out a long time ago? The one with Ryan Reynolds? As bad as that movie is, at least it had color in it. I'm so tired. New Superman's costume looks like trash. I like the shorts. I just think it's a little too MCU-fied, if that makes sense. And it's weird that it's basically based off the New 52 where everything had unnecessary lines on it. Like, it's okay as a suit. I like the trunks. The trunks are my everything. It just seems like it doesn't fit very well. Like, it's not a superhero suit. It's like somebody's... I don't know how to describe it, really. It's, like, not... It makes Superman look less put together than he is. You know? It looks like Superman's gonna pull out a gun or something, you know? You know, Superman literal helps a girl out of a tree, and she tells her mom, and you just hear audible smack. Super dark but hilarious. That's really weird. New deal where players met the Doctor. It's a recurring appearance. They're bringing Grant Gustin back as the Flash. I would love that. Grant Gustin deserves to be in a Flash project that is an ass, and I don't need any more Ezra Miller Flash. Ezra Miller Flash, that movie was like... it was okay. It wasn't, like, good, but it was okay. Actually, no, it wasn't even really... It was, like, average. I liked seeing George Clooney come back for, like, the last bit. Grant Gustin for the new DCU. It was in the Christopher Reeve movie? Really? Huh. I don't know. I think that Superman movies should focus on the theming of people aspiring to be better through Superman's involvement. Superman is not, like, the savior of humanity. Superman is an idea to aspire towards. Like, Superman is the most human person around, if that makes sense. Despite being an alien, you know? Fire player, Rip Val Kilmer. Yeah, Rip Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer, best Batman. Not gonna lie, not taking comments on this. Val Kilmer is the best Batman. Ezra Miller played Flash, bad human being. Grant Gustin Flash is what I want. The CW is bad at writing things, but, like, Grant Gustin is not the issue with the Flash. Grant Gustin is by far the only reason that show lasted as long as it did. Oververse Jig Garrick, but couldn't have Grant even after Ezra's cameo in the CW. Who would Grant even be in that scenario, though? If Ezra Miller is the Flash and we're going back in time, he wouldn't look different. So if you're playing 5e, what the hell is the CRB? I don't know. Alternative Barry, I guess. I don't know. It's like, again, it's not a very good movie. DCU in general has very few, like, gems. The Snyder Cut is bad. As much as people hate on the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League, and it is shitty, don't get me wrong, at least it was colorful? Like, at least I didn't feel like shit watching it, you know? But I think it's just because I was watching it for 5 fucking hours. Batman on point. Yeah, I will admit, Ben Affleck... Actually, you know what? Ben Affleck? Not a bad Batman. I really liked him as Batman. He honestly deserved a better, like, movie to be in, but, like, he had the look down. I could feasibly see his Bruce Wayne being a playboy and, like, his Batman comforting a child. But also the scary voice modulator kind of changes that for me. But, like, Ledger Joker is amazing. He is, but he's not, like, a good... He's not a... It's not a good Joker. It's a good Joker for what it's meant to be, but he's not a good Joker. Not a great Bruce Wayne. I thought he was fine as Bruce Wayne. Struggle trying to make look good for movies, but I still hold hope. I mean, they look fine. Visually speaking, those movies were great. A little, like, on the dark side, but, like, they were fine if you're just looking at them. But, like, the reason that I dislike them is because there's no substance, you know? Eternals was good. People don't give it props. They did super speed the best. They did. They very much did. Turns out Jason Momoa gets to come back as Aquaman. I think he's coming back as Lobo, which honestly I think would be much better. I don't get me wrong. I like him as Aquaman. Those movies were like, oh, actually, Aquaman was a pretty good movie. They had a few good ones. Shazam was kind of mid, but like, eh. Okay, Adam West Joker is so great. He didn't have to shave his mustache. He just painted over it. Did you really? I didn't even. So I didn't watch that, but like, eh. You're The Rock playing Apocalypse. Why? Why the fuck? DC animated versus live action. The animated will always top it. Put Lobo in the new movies. I will kiss the writers. I think Lobo should be in the Superman movie. I think he's in Supergirl. At least that's how I understand it. But like, I don't know. That's just my opinion on those superhero movies. Dark Knight and Trilogy Batman. Not a good Batman movie. They're good movies, but they're not good Batman movies. Like how I just finished football. What's up, Colton? I was about to end soon, actually. But that was just my comic book talk. Fuck my shoulder. Just sitting here. Is it like I think it's my like. Is it my posture? I like fucked myself up. Anyway, hoping that settles itself. The videos have caused my mother to torture my... Wait, what? Why your mother? Thought The Rock wasn't allowed to lose in anything. How would he be Apocalypse? I don't know. I'm tired of seeing The Rock. I'm tired of him. Ever since Black Adam, I can't be bothered to give a fuck anymore. Definitely the maid costume. It's not even really all that heavy. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not sitting on like a proper chair and I'm like kind of in a weird position. Let me just see if I can reach over. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. Lots of random pains. Yeah. Growing up old. John Cena in the hero roles. I would love to see more John Cena. I hope that they keep John Cena. I like him as Peacemaker. He's fun. Shocked to learn that Lucifer TV show, Lucifer was part of the CW. Kind of. Not really. It's like lightly part of it. It was a good idea to troll lucky players. I don't know. Look at my new video, I guess. Look like Waldo? Anyway. I think I'm going to end my stream here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Karma, who donated to help us get to where we needed to get. You guys have been amazing, lovely, and wonderful. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for talking comic books with me. Join the Discord server if you haven't. It is in the description of this live. So, yeah. You should go join that. Join the Discord server. I'm going to continue eating, maybe chill. But yeah, I will see you later. Colton, we're at 6 p.m. EST tomorrow for the next stream. But yeah, join the Discord server. I'm going to end the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love you all. Bye.